Hello everyone, my name is Vlad and this is the project Business in Russia. So again, remember that now is the best time to launch your business in Russia. And of course, to launch the business, first thing you need a company. So today we discuss how you can get the company in Russia and what are the ways, what are the obstacles, what are the peculiarities and details. And my job today is just to tell you all the facts about how you can incorporate the legal entity in Russia. So let's move on. First, we see two plans how you can get the legal entity in Russia. First is you register the company, and second, you take over the company or you purchase the company. So let's start with plan A, company registration. And this plan A, this scenario depends on whether you are able to travel to Russia for the company or corporation or you are not able to travel. So let's say you are in your motherland and you just say, I want a company, please register in company by distance. Let's consider this one by one. So first, you are able to travel to Russia. You come to Moscow, you land in the airport, Zhukovsky, Domodedovo, Sheremetyevo, Vnukovo, and afterwards you need only 2 working days in order to launch the company. What you should do? You should find a notary and you should attend a notary office. You go to notary and you sign an application for the company formation. Each notary has a special electronic program that helps him to send this signed application for the company formation to tax service. And tax service opens the company and gives you the company taxation number. That's it. So, in brief, that's all the procedure you need to come over. However, let's talk about what documentation you need. First, you need the founder's decision on establishment of the company. Second, you need to choose which taxation system you select. Obviously, when it's just the start of your business, this simplified tax system is enough. You will pay 6% out of all volume of all operations, and at the stage of the company formation, you submit the notification of application of a simplified taxation system. Also, you need documents confirming the use of the company's legal address, because remember, company's legal address is now compulsory in Russia. Right now, our government works on a special bill in order to make possible to use the electronic legal address. You should think about the legal address for your company. So tax authority might ask you for the letter of guarantee or the consent of the owner of the premises to the registration of the LLC. But it is important that you don't need to rent an office. You don't need to rent this room, for example, for the launch of the company. Each company also needs to have a charter. And thanks to the Ministry of Information of the Russian Federation, we have samples of the company charters. So you go to the tax authority website, and I hope you will see it right now on your screen. You go to tax authority website and you pass a special test. And after you pass this test, you automatically get the most suitable charter sample. So the sample charter will be enough unless you are going to launch any business that is unique. So this is not the marketplace, this is not electronic commerce, this is not fashion, this is something unique. In this case, you will need to work on the charter from the very beginning, from scratch. In other cases, you can select out of the number of sample charters on the website of the tax authorities. That was the scenario when you are able to travel to Russia. If you are unable to travel to Russia, you can find the Russian resident who is able to attend the notary office in order to sign an application for the company formation. Unfortunately, this Russian resident cannot register the company with the power of attorney. So it is compulsory that the future owner of the company attends the notary office in person. But in the end, after the company is registered, after the entity is incorporated, this person who registered the company should sell you the company. He should transfer the company to you so that you have full control of it. So it brings us to the plan B, to the company takeover, to the company sale and purchase. In plan B, we have three situations. The first situation is the Russian resident just incorporated the legal entity in Russia, and he transfers the ownership of this legal entity to you. The second is that you already know the company which you are going to take over. Sometimes the clients approach us and say, we are willing to enter the Russian market, and here is the tax number of the company that already exists, and we just want to purchase it. So maybe we've already done all the negotiations with the company owner, so we are able to buy it. Please help us to purchase that. And the third scenario is that you understand that company registration is too difficult for you, so that you want us to find a ready-made company in order to buy it, in order to purchase this company. And we help to find this company based on the criteria of age. So for instance, you want this company to be 5 years old, so that it is incorporated in 2018. You also want to have the company that already has some history, so that the company already has a reputation, the company already was involved in a certain transactions in the Russian market. For instance, you want to go to the marketplace business and you want to buy the company that already participated in Ozon marketplace, Wildberries marketplace, or whatever. When we consider these three situations in plan B, in company takeover, also everything depends on whether you are able to travel to Russia or you are unable to travel to Russia. And you have two ways to take over the company. The first is you form the sale purchase agreement. The second, you increase the share capital of the company and you become a new participant, you become a new owner of the company through the increase of the charter capital of the company. So this brings us to plan B, a company takeover. So imagine there is the ready-made company or the company that exists in Russia, exists in the Russian market, and you just want to purchase it. So it makes it much more easier, because if you purchase a company, you don't have to deal with the company registration, and it is the ready-made company, you can just go on with business immediately. How to take over the company? There are two ways actually. The first is you form a sale and purchase agreement. The second, you increase charter capital of the company. So both sale and purchase agreement and increase of charter capital are possible. Either you are able to travel to Russia or you are unable to travel to Russia and you stay in your country. If you stay in your country, you issue a power of attorney in the consulate of the Russian Federation in your country, and it is possible to do it without you. Let's consider a sale and purchase agreement first. In sale and purchase agreement, you are the purchaser of the entity, and the existing owner of an existing company is the seller of this company. So you are the parties to the sale and purchase agreement, and this transaction should be authorized by notary again. So you go to the notary office, both of you. You can do this in person, or your representatives can go to notary office, and notary authorizes the sale and purchase agreement. It is important, if you are married, your spouse, your husband or your wife in your country should give you a written consent that he or she agrees that you enter a transaction, that you enter an agreement for the sale and purchase of the legal entity in Russia. Also, what do you need? After you form the sale purchase agreement, you need to assign a general director. You can keep the former general director, or you find another one, or you become the general director. However, for that you need to appear in Russia in person, and you should have the work permit. That was the first way how to take over the company in Russia. The second way is to increase the charter capital of the company, and this way we also call as an entry of new participants into an existing company. So each company has a charter capital. The minimum charter capital in Russia for the limited liability company or общество с ограниченной ответственностью is 10,000 rubles. Imagine there is an existing entity with a charter capital in the amount of 10,000 rubles. In order to take over this company, the existing owner, the existing participant of this company should increase the amount of the charter capital. Let's say it will be 20,000 rubles. So the previous amount increases with another 10,000 rubles. For that, the current participant, the current owner of the company, makes a resolution, it is the formalized document, on increasing the charter authorized capital. And this resolution for the increase of the charter capital is subject to notary authorization again. However, there is no problem with that, because remember that this document is issued by the existing owner, by the present owner of the company. So most probably he's in Russia, and there is no problem with this resolution to be authorized in the notary office, because he just visits this office and that's it. After the resolution for an increase of the charter capital is authorized by the notary, you are able to join the company as another participant, as another owner of the company, by making additional contribution to the charter capital. So if initially it was 10,000 rubles charter capital and the current owner made it 20,000 ruble charter capital, then you need to contribute 10,000 rubles to the charter capital, and you become another participant of the company. Besides making the contribution to the charter capital, you also need to be assigned, to be accepted as another owner to the company. So you form an application for your admission to the company as the second owner, and the present owner just authorizes it on the corporate level. And afterwards, you both become owners of the company in parallel. And the next step is that the former owner leaves the company. So we make the corporate document by virtue of which the previous owner leaves the company, so you become the only owner of the company, and you control it 100%. So this is the procedure. To sum up, in order to have a legal entity in Russia, there are two options. First, to register the company, and second, to take over an existing company. When you register the company, it is important that you are able to travel to Russia. You arrive in Moscow to Domodedovo Airport, Sheremetyevo Airport, Vnukovo Airport, Zhukovsky Airport, doesn't matter, and you need only 2 working days to get your ready-made company with a bank account. Afterwards, you can assign general director, who is the local general director, and you can go back to your country. In case you are unable to travel to Russia, then you can find the Russian resident who can register it for yourself, and afterwards transfer the ownership of this company to you. And in the second option, in the company takeover, you have 2 ways how to do this. First, to enter the sale and purchase agreement, or to do this through the increase in the charter capital of the existing company. So you remember, you can either draft the contract, and it is quite transparent way how to do this, and the second way is a little bit longer, however it still works. So that you imagine you have 10,000 charter capital, you increase it, the existing owner increase it, and you just make a further contribution to the charter capital, and the previous owner admits you to be another owner of the company, and afterwards the previous owner of the company quits, leaves the company. So you get the full control, you get 100% control of the company. What is also important, what questions we get from businessmen who want to enter the Russian market. First, we are frequently asked about the services of a nominee secretary or nominee general director. That's quite a painful topic because, strictly speaking, the nominee director in Russia is illegal. So it is prohibited. There is a special sanction prescribed by the criminal code of the Russian Federation in case there is a nominee director who is 100% controlled, who does everything he asked to do, and Russian authorities can get evidence that this nominee director doesn't make any decisions, and this person doesn't run the business, then it becomes a problem. And there is a criminal responsibility prescribed by the criminal code of the Russian Federation. There is a fine prescribed or even imprisonment for the term of up to 5 years. So remember that the general director that you find for your company should be the person that really runs the company. Therefore, this person should obtain a special qualification, knowledge, background, maybe skills, age, gender, whatever you want. Therefore, the best option is to find a person who satisfies your criteria, and you can sleep well in your country while this person runs your business. It is better for your business and it is better for you. The other question we are frequently asked is whether legal address is compulsory. Whether it is important to rent an office or rent any other room or whatever. The answer is yes, and tax authorities might ask you to provide them with the rental contract. And maybe another question from top 3 questions we receive is how can we transfer money to Russia or from Russia to other jurisdictions, because we know that SWIFT doesn't work in Russia. However, it's important to know that there are still banks that are entitled to use SWIFT. So yes, SWIFT is switched off, however, not for all banks. And please stipulate your jurisdiction and your national currency so that we can send some inquiries to the bank to check what is the current situation with your currency and your jurisdiction, whether it can be admitted, whether it can be accepted by a particular bank or not. But be sure that right now the situation is stable so that banks are able to receive for sure the currencies of the BRICS member states and those countries that are not in BRICS, that of course it is also possible, so that we can check it out. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to our channel and stay tuned, and remember that this is the best time to launch the business in Russia.